It's the ultimate travel guide from the people who know it best. Weekends with Yankee.
I sort of accidentally fell into this business, actually. When my husband and I got engaged, I was looking for stationery for our wedding, and I couldn't find anything that really fit the bill. And so I had no idea what I was doing, but I made our invitations, our save the dates and so forth. And by the time our wedding rolled around, I had clients. I'd booked clients and had an accidental business. New England has this hearty warmth to it. It's very different than other places that I've been. A lot of really friendly, down-to-earth folks that appreciate the little things. And one of the big things for me with my art is just focusing on the simple things. For example, I always go back to this, but our life jacket, and that was the inspiration for one of my very first illustrations when we first started Sara Fitz, and just focusing on the simplicity of it, but the buckle and the way that it's stitched and the color, of course, is something that you may walk past and not think twice about, but when it's framed or when it's on a product, it's something that catches your eye a little bit more. So that really is what drives my work, is celebrating those little moments that are just everyday things, but making them beautiful. It's just like oozing inspiration for me.
Wow. This is so happy. It's so bright and happy. Hi, Sara.
Hi.
I'm Richard.
Hi, Richard.
So what was the inspiration for all of this?
It's just the surroundings here in New England. There's such a charm everywhere you look. And I love celebrating those simple things that we don't always notice on a day-to-day basis.
You know, you do go into many yards in the summer and see beautiful hydrangea plants or striped shirts I see in the summer, and dogs and beach bags and old woodies. I mean, these are things that when you sort of put it together, it's sort of reminiscent of a great summer day.
Right. I mean, I try to keep our art nice and fresh and bright, colorful and fun, but nostalgic. A lot of our clients come in here and they just reminisce about childhood. Wallpaper's really made a comeback over the last few years, which has been a lot of fun for us to put our illustrations into people's homes in a new way. Lots of baby nurseries.
Baby nurseries.
Definitely kids' rooms. Lots of powder rooms with the lobster. Guest rooms and bathrooms and hydrangea. Bluefish everywhere.
Sara, I'm so inspired by your store. And the reason why I'm inspired is every one of these items I've actually seen somewhere along the way.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. I would love to take you to one of my favorite places to gain some inspiration along the coast. I come to the beach a lot to walk around and gain some inspiration because you just never know what you're gonna see. You know, simple stuff like seaweed and shells like this. I mean, how pretty is that, right?
You know, the designs of nature, there's very few things sort of as beautiful.
Yep, yep.
So I'll leave this for someone else to find.
Yeah, there you go. And all these things have some sort of story too, right? So it's fun to think back about where they came from and how long they've been in the water and when they washed up.
Do you find that depending on where you are in life and the seasons that your vision is different as you walk along?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it can depend on what you're going through in your life too. And if you're having a really busy season of life or a little bit more calm, I definitely find myself looking for like calmer sources of inspiration when I'm overwhelmed or stressed. And then maybe willing to take on a little bit more when I'm not.
Here's a piece of wood drifting in.
Yeah. See, like, just even looking at the details of this, right? Like, how beautiful. And like, where did it come from, right? Where was it before here? Yeah, I mean, this is an example of something that you would walk by and you wouldn't necessarily take a second to pick it up. But if you do, if you just take a moment and stop and enjoy it for a second, you see how beautiful it is. I mean, the edges and the detail. It's all the little things, but it's really a special piece.
And you know, the other thing too is you look at sort of the lines of it, and you know, it's a history book unfolding because this piece of wood had a whole life beyond finding its last resting place on the sea. And you're right, I would pass this by, and yet as I hold it and look around, I find more and more detail.
Exactly.
You know, I think that so often people are in a hurry and you miss those hidden jewels that you see, you know, that are in plain sight.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it's all about, right?